Illman, Mike Beer taking a look at race number 8 at Belmont Park on Sunday. The Grade 1 Flower Bowl Invitational going 1.25 miles on the inner turf. Could be a nice prep for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf at Churchill Downs. You can bet this race on this nice card with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com and immediately receive a 300% deposit match. Here's the field for the Flower Bowl, and 4-Star Crook has just been a rock-solid horse for Chad Brown throughout her entire career. She's 6 years old. She's a New York bred that's won 11 of 18, over $1 million in earnings. And early in her career, Chad put her in spots where she could win, sort of to milk the big winning streak she was running. Yeah. He's not afraid of graded competition anymore. This horse won the New York over Sister Charlie 2 starts back and gave Sister Charlie all she could handle in the prestigious Beverly D last time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's sort of amazing, too, that she somehow keeps getting better. Every year he brings her back, she keeps getting better. I didn't think it was as close as the margin suggests in the Beverly D last time. I mean, to me, she was second best. She never looked like she was going to win, but it doesn't take anything away from what she did in that race. Here's a question for you. I just want to see what you think about this, because I've been thinking about this since last night. I've been thinking about this for longer than that. How far do you really think she wants to go? I mean, do you really think I know she won the New York 2 starts back when, they just went a wicked pace. She was a million lengths off of a wicked pace and she won. Do you really think that she's at her best going this far? I think she's best going shorter than this.
I always thought that 9 furlongs was her best distance,
too.
But we have seen in the past, as horses age, horses like Beach Patrol, horses like the Belmont train runner that won the Joe Hirsch Channel Maker a couple of weeks ago, they might be able to stay a little bit better. And I think 4-Star Crook's proven it at 1.25 miles. And against this field, I don't see the excuse, unless there's just such a tepid and glacial pace that 4-Star Crook can't get into it. The problem with that argument is that Feeling Bossy, also owned by Michael Dubb, is likely to be in here to set the pace if she runs at all. And while Feeling Bossy is a really nice New York bred with 7 wins to her credit, it's unlikely she can win this race, but she could help her uncoupled stable.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, it feels like it has to be the only reason she's in here. It's just to go out there and make sure they don't walk on the lead in front of her, because while she's run some good races in the past, she's been terrible this year, and there's just no way that she could be competitive in this race based on what she's been doing in her last few starts. But she's in here to set the pace, and I'm assuming she'll do a good job of that.
Timeform US also agrees that if she runs in this spot, she will set the pace and she will be clear, and her job would be to set at least a legitimate pace to set things up for 4-Star Crook. Also close to the pace is one of our favorites. That's the number 4, Tricky Escape. Chris DiCarlo fits this mare like a glove. She just was dominant in winning that race at 11 furlongs, 3 starts back at Delaware. She got a great ride, but once the button was pushed, she completely destroyed that field. Then on the dirt and the weigh, she was able to show another dimension, relaxing beautifully on the lead and kicking away to win. And then last time, I just loved that effort in the Kentucky Downs. She went to the front, she conceded the lead with about 5/16 of a mile to go, and then she re-rallied and beat a pretty decent horse.
Yeah, I mean, she's been really good. She's been good for a long time. We'll see how she stacks up.
I'd go right to the front.
Yeah, well, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing them do that either. And I think distance is really good for her. The farther, the better. It's just a question of how you think she stacks up against some better horses this time, because while she's run well in her recent races, the Palinotis and the Moms on Strikes of the world are not, are not horses like 4-Star Crook and some other horses in here. So she's facing some much better horses in here. I'll be honest with you, Dan, I'm not so sure she's not up for it. This filly's pretty good.
Third start of the form cycle for the number 5 Danceland at 12-1. John Velasquez, Shug McGahee. This horse won a couple of races in a row, deserved her opportunity in the Grade 2 Glens Falls, sat up close to the slow pace that was set by Lady Montour, and only finished evenly. Was she exposed as a horse that might be just a little bit less than graded stakes class at this point?
Yeah, I think that she was. And as I say that, I have no problem with Shug coming right back and trying another race like this. This field did not come up that strong, and she is improving. I think she has to improve again, though. She had a really good trip in the Glens Falls, and she wasn't close to good enough.
The number 3 Holy Helena began this season like she was going to be a major player in this division. She was a very good 3-year-old, sweeping through the Woodbine Oaks and the Queen's Plate on the synthetic surface, and her last 2 races just seemed to lack something. That New York Stakes against 4-Star Crook was kind of a weirdly run race, a ridiculously fast pace, and maybe she was a bit too close to that that pace before flattening out. But the Dance Smartly, I know she finished ahead of 2 next down winners, but I was very disappointed in the way she finished up. The key perhaps to improvement might be the layoff. She has won both times this year off fresh innings, and Jimmy Jerkins gave her time since the last race.
Yeah, I think that's probably what she needed to, because I'm with you. Like the New York, where I didn't love her performance there, I'm not that disappointed by it, just because that was such a weird race the way that it was run. I was really disappointed in her race last time because everything went right for her there. The pace was really fast. She got a good trip saving ground the entire way. She got clear with 3/16 to go, and she just didn't make up any ground. I was really disappointed with that race. Maybe the freshening does her some good, because I got to be honest, Dan, the first 3 turf races she ran, I liked those a lot. I thought she ran really well in those races.
The number 2, Lady Montdor, did some good things in France, but is 2 for 2 for Tommy Albertrani since being shipped to North America. She's had dream runs both times.
Yeah, I mean,
in her North American debut, she just sat in behind the lead. When she was asked for a run by Joe Bravo, she dominated that overmatched field. And then last time out in the Glens Falls, Manny Franco realized, hey, there's no speed. They went trotting horse fractions, 27, 54, and 2, and Lady Montdor is supposed to sprint home and win.
Yeah.
Well, Lady Montdor got the money that day. It's not going to be as easy here. And On the Moon Again, the number 1, as we throw up our top selections, was completely compromised by the lack of pace.
Yeah, I mean, she really was. I mean, it's not that On the Moon Again doesn't have something to prove now in her 3rd start over here, but it just feels like when you go back and look at that race, you know, it's very rare to watch an 11-furlong turf race and see the horse on the lead in the stretch sprinting. I mean, this horse, this horse was sprinting through the stretch. She had everything her own way, and I do think she's a nice filly, but last time was the time for her. I'm just willing to give On the Moon Again one more chance, because she came over with a little bit of a reputation. I mean, she was a good horse in France against some top-class competition. Her first start over here just put a line through it. It was a little short for her anyway. Javi, I don't know what he was really thinking in the stretch there, but trying to force her up the rail when there was no room. I mean, she almost went down in that race. I would just put a line through that one. And she just didn't have a fair chance last time. He rated her back. They went slow in front of her right when he tried to make a run around the second turn in that race, 3 or 4 wide. That's when Lady Montdor just started sprinting away. She really didn't have a fair chance in there. I'm willing to give her one more in here. I know she wants this distance.
3rd start for Chad Brown, and you make the point. She may want this distance a little bit more than 4-Star Crook. Both will be rallying from the back of the pack.
4-Star Crook's way the horse to beat.
Both need pace. You have to use 4-Star Crook in multis, but Mike's looking for value. He's a fan of On the Moon Again, 9-2 on the morning line, and Mike's going 1-7-2-4, and I'm going 7-2-3-4 in the Grade 1 Flower Bowl Invitational. You can bet the race with the DRF Bets account. It's very easy to sign up, bets.drf.com, and upon sign up you receive a 300% deposit match. Approximate post time for the Flower Bowl, 5:18 Eastern on Sunday. Good luck.